Seattle Seahawks. Dustin Hopkins has it on the tee, and here we go from our nation's capital. This will be taken very short. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
Let's go!
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Oh, and they had it stopped short of the 1st, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Wilson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
This will be caught at about the 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out, in this case to the right side, and try and throw back into the middle of the field. He got away with one there.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone. Right from the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Lady. Slow down. 12. I can't believe they even let you play. 51.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, did you score touchdowns on those drives? That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
They'll go with Darius Geis, who missed all of 2018 with injury. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, it's Peterson, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And it's off the crossbar. Oh, he couldn't even get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Rolling to his right, and that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On second down, here's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
36 power.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job is a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Geis. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Looking to throw, Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Redskins have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. One left.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. To throw is Wilson. A final shot before break. Being chased out left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing again on second down. Haskins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. Well, they frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
And this defense not giving him anything there, maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Washington! Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. and try and get back to where you were to start the half. And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
On the move to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carson. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On first down, Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run again with Carson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Then he'll try to punch it in. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson out to his left. This will be caught at about the 6. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson taking it in. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now Haskins. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
That'll be caught right side by Reed. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. They run again with Peterson. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Here's Geis. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. The 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. On is Hopkins now for the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He lets it fly for Lockett, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cassius Marsh, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Steps away to his left. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. And now off to the races down the right side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
He took you to school.
And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble, and they did. Took it the other way for a score, and now if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle perhaps to win this ball game.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Adrian Peterson was the intended target, and it's third down.
It's now third down and 1.
Let's go. Big touch the outlaw. 54 Mike. I'm coming. Let's go.
On play action, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And that is incomplete. They had to go for with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So now it may look bleak, but this one not over. They do have all 3 timeouts.
Even at this point on the field, where it looks like, you're really backed up, hold them to a field goal. That's the mantra.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Redskins down by 10, 25 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 21-yard line.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments.